Hey guys, it's Bill from Linden, Tennessee. In this case, today I'm in Eagleville, Tennessee at the something or other annual, I forgot the name of it, tractor show. Of course, I got the Cub here, but I started the video here because I found something really cool. I've been talking about wanting to make a tractor with a front end loader on it, but I don't want to make a second tractor because it just would never get used. But this is called a Johnny bucket, and this is what I'm going to do. Because this is obviously a different connection, but right there on that little pivot, that's where it pivots. So mine would pivot right there. So it would basically be the same thing as this. And this is only made out of just 11 gauge 1/8" steel. I don't know what thickness the steel is on the deck itself. It might be more, but I don't know. This has got these little ripper blades on it, and they just bolt to the existing bucket. But so that's going to be my next thing. I'll make one of these. Seems easy enough too. He's got the extender on there, so this top part right up here, that makes it so you can carry more stuff. But I think that would work great on here. It uses electronic linear actuators, so I'm pretty familiar with that. That one tilts the bucket forward, and that one lifts it up and down. And where it's got that top link on that, I think I could just make it just come right into that link right there, and it would work pretty good. I might want to put like a little gusset down there, just to beef that whole assembly up. But I could put a little tab right there so it would pick it up. And if I did it right, that might also work as a like a top link for a 3-point or something. I don't know. So anyway, I will show you more of the show later. All right. Okay, well, we're here at my little parking spot. See, I got my little setup all going here. This is Robert Wetterall tractors. He's the guy that I bought the snow plow from and the front half of my extended hood. That's where I got that from. So it was kind of neat to run into him. He's the first person that saw me when I got here. Neither one of us recognized each other, but eventually we figured it out. But we've got a whole bunch of farmalls here. This guy, this is pretty wicked. I met a guy online on Facebook. I'm sorry, his name's Michael. But he said I need to find this guy. I'm gonna come up and talk to him later. But he made this low boy. It certainly is that. That's pretty sweet. And then this is just, why'd you do this? Because I can. I love it. How cool is that, right? And a whole bunch of other little tractors there. You can kind of see it's really spread out. When I was up in Evansville, I kind of did a drive-through of all the tractors and steam engines and all that stuff, but this one's so spread out. You know, it's kind of a shame. They could have probably condensed this into a smaller field, so it's a little bit difficult. So if you're a person coming here to look at this stuff, you got to park clear over there, and if you want to come up and see this display, you got to walk clear over here, which, you know, is fine if you're able, but there's a lot of sort of older crowd comes to these things, and it's just kind of difficult. But anyway, it's a beautiful day. Couldn't ask for a better day. And I just love the people that come to these shows. They're so nice. And then despite it being electric, I don't get a whole lot of kickback on it. I get the whole, oh no, you're just running off the grid thing, but you know, that's fine. I like talking to all those people anyway. Hopefully I can give them a different perspective of electric vehicles in general, and certainly of smaller ones like lawn tractors. And yeah, so anyway, I don't know if I'm going to do another video, but if not, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. I'm sure whatever it is I'm smelling right now is probably not good for him. Pretty cool though. It's wonderful they keep this equipment running. We're gonna go around. We'll go check out the backside. I don't want to. Nope. Nope. She's done. We'll go around the backside. Sorry for a shaky cam. I'll maybe edit this. Maybe I won't. I need a cup holder. I'll tell you that right now. All that belt, all that stuff. How'd you like to do that for 6 or 8 hours a day on the middle of the Tennessee summer, Alabama summer? I think they made these before OSHA was around. You don't want to get involved with that. That would hurt you bad. This is the belle of the ball, in my opinion. Look at this thing. How wonderful is that? You can feel the heat coming off of this. All that steam in there, big old fire, oil spitting everywhere, water dripping, total lost lubrication system. I love my little electric stuff, but this stuff is wonderful. And if you thought the threshing job was bad, imagine being this guy, standing there behind the firebox for all day long. Yeah. That big old saw blade. It's neat to listen to the tractor. The tractor's kind of idling right now. And as soon as there's a load that goes on the log, you'll hear the tractor catch up. I'm guessing the operators sort of initially feed the log into the saw. They're rotating it now. They initially feed the log into the saw and then wait for the engine to catch up. There it goes. We're just adjusting it over for the cut. Listen to the engine. All right, guys. I guess there is going to be a closure video. So we are back at the shop. Yesterday was the show. Had a good time there. It was very spread out. Not as many people there as I'd like to have there, but I did get to talk to a bunch of really cool tractor guys. I love talking to the tractor guys, especially the really old ones. You know, because they just have a lot of knowledge and a lot of life experience, and I appreciate seeing them. And I'm glad that they make it to these shows. You don't know how many more they're going to make it to. So, yeah, so I like them. Anyway, now that we're back, I have moved on to the brakes again. You know, if you remember, I've had some dilemmas with the front brakes. I tried to use these hydraulic brakes from a motorcycle, but because either the discs themselves aren't really straight, or I didn't get the caliper exactly square and perpendicular and parallel with the disc itself, what would happen is one or two of the 6 pistons would extend and touch the disc, and then the other 4 pistons would need to extend further to also touch the pad up against the disc. And before that happened, I ran out of brake fluid in my master cylinder, so that was kind of a fail. So I don't have any disc. I don't have any brakes in the front. So I went and got some rear disc brakes, rear disc axles for the rear, and some brake calipers. These are actually the brake calipers I had when I bought this tractor originally. I just kind of cleaned them up, painted them black. And I don't know of a way to actually use them with my brake pedal. Although, looking at it now as I sit here and talk to you, I may be able to do some kind of little linkage, but I'm not sure how I could do both sides at the same time. Maybe I could do that, actually. I could just run a jack shaft across the bottom. I don't know. Anyway, so I thought I might try it with a linear actuator. So I went on Amazon and said, hey, do you have 1-inch travel actuators? And they're like, yeah, we do. Do you have 1-inch travel actuators that are pretty small? And they're like, heck yeah. So so I found these ones, and these have got like a 42-inch or 42-pound press push. So I thought, well, hell, I'll just make a little bracket here. And these are so small. Like, I don't know how short that is. It's really, really small. That might be 4 inches or something. It's really small. But I was like, well, hell, it's really tiny. That's perfect. And they're waterproof. So 40 pounds of pressure is plenty. And as you can see, let me hook this up. If you run it all the way out, it does push pretty hard. But the problem is they don't hold that pressure. The actuator pushes back on it. Now, I don't have a wheel on there, but I can tell you that if I turn this hard enough with 2 hands, even without a wheel on there, or the weight of the vehicle, with a heavy thing, it doesn't work. The little actuator pushes back on itself and lets the pressure off of the brake. So that is no good. That is not going to work. So I may need to look into different actuators. Or, now that I'm looking at this is my old master cylinder, and it's got a little link right there. If I were to run a rod from that up to some sort of a lever that would go across in this hole is what was originally used for the brakes on this, originally in the Cub Cadet. So if I run a lever all the way through that hole with an arm sticking up, that rod or a similar rod pushed on that arm, and then had another arm coming off of that lever going to that right there, that would do, wouldn't it? That would work good. Or I could reverse these calipers around so that instead of pushing to put the brakes on, you have to pull to put the brakes on. And then I could have a rod coming straight from that low, and then maybe have a little rod coming down low right here, and then have a taller part coming up here to push on that. Because as it is, that doesn't have a whole lot of travel. Whenever I use ooh, I still have brake fluid in there. It doesn't have a lot of travel. So anyway, so now I'm just brainstorming, and you're here along for a ride. Anyway, one thing I noticed in one of my other videos I put out is I say so and I say anyway a lot, and I wish that I didn't. I'm going to try and avoid using those words so much. Okay, back from the show. Had a great time. It was great meeting all the people. I do enjoy going to those shows. There is another big tractor show, a Cub Cadet show, in fact, in Pinckneyville, Illinois on Saturday that I do plan on going to. I really had hoped to have parking brake by then, but it just didn't work out. Loading this up onto my little short trailer is going to be a challenge without a parking brake. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. But, okay. Well, next time I see you is probably going to be from the show in Pinckneyville. So, thank you for watching, as always, and we will see you next time.